To start this video, this rant, this commentary, whatever the fuck you want to call it, I'm going to start this off with saying I am sick of YouTube shit. Like, I am seriously tired of YouTube just being an absolute shit platform. Because from a technological standpoint, YouTube's great. But from a policy standpoint, YouTube is really, really shit. And I know for a fact, a lot of YouTubers have talked about it for the past couple of years, and yet, in a week's time, everybody just forgets about it and move the fuck on. Because they have this false notion that YouTube is a monopoly and is too big to fail. But in all honesty, I don't give a fuck. No company is too big to fail. For all the years I've been on this platform, if you could even call it that at this point, censorship has been on the rise to a ridiculous extent, to the point where YouTube is censoring real life fucking discussions. You can't talk about fucking elections. You can't talk about fucking medical topics. You can't even talk about certain serious topics that relate to fucking true crime, or else you're gonna get fact-checked. And with Wikipedia of all fucking sources. Real lazy shit from YouTube. Real lazy shit. It is so fucking bad that I feel like YouTube is becoming like television. YouTube is seriously becoming more and more sanitized with each passing day. I see YouTubers, some that I embarrassingly respect, censoring themselves on a whole nother level to chase that sweet, sweet monetization. And listen, I get it. There are some people that make their livelihoods on this platform. And if you are one of those individuals, I understand. I don't want anyone to be poor. I don't want anyone to be homeless. I would never tell any individual to sacrifice their livelihoods. Which is why, if you are a person that's bread and butter is not made on YouTube, I would seriously recommend that you start looking into alternatives, or you start backing up your content on a hard drive or something. Even go old school and start a fucking website if you have to. Because with how YouTube's policies are going, you never really know if your channel is going to be around. And YouTube's policies are applied retroactively, which means content you made a fucking decade ago could punish you now with a policy that is brand fucking spanking new. It is so fucking crazy to see this platform get so fucking sanitized to where content is outright fucking boring at this point. I hear so many beeps and boops and bops. You would think the FCC came into YouTube headquarters and took the bitch over. Like, it amazes me of the poor decisions YouTube has made over the fucking years. Like the algorithmic demotion of children's channels because of, pedophilia, obviously. And, what they were doing is that they were using timestamps and showing shady shots of kids. And that's a serious issue, don't get me wrong. But there's just some things you can't control in life, unfortunately. To be completely honest, with that situation, there was never really a clean solution without doing something crazy, which obviously YouTube being YouTube did something crazy and just shut down all their comment sections entirely. But that's just one of the few things that are a bit ridiculous. There's just so much fucking more. Like YouTube siding with advertisers over creators, the people that built the platform, to a ridiculous extent, an insane extent, an extent that I didn't even think was humanly imaginable. Like the whole Philip DeFranco situation, to where YouTube violated their own policies on certain content that's allowed to be talked about because the advertisers could put ads on their own fucking videos. Isn't that a little bit of a conflict of interest? Rules for thee, but not for me? What the fuck is going on here? And the whole family-friendly situation, and how, ironically, YouTube got sued for breaking COPPA violations, and that whole debacle. Or the whole Markiplier Moist Critical debacle, where both of those big YouTubers got fucked in that situation. Just insano shit. And don't even get me started on their shitty policies when it comes to hate speech and fucking protected groups and vague policies that can be applied to almost anything. Like, they purposely make their policies as vague as fucking possible so that way they can apply it to any situation. Like, for instance, I remember YouTube had a policy on controversial material. Now, that's vague as fuck. You can make the argument that some of the content I make is controversial. Like what the fuck does that mean? What do you mean controversial material? Like, listen, I don't know if anyone knows this, and I make it explicitly clear, but I'm American. So I obviously believe in freedom of speech. And YouTube is an American company. So seeing YouTube make these vague policies on speech and demote people based off of their speech, it's just fucking retarded. like following European law type shit. And I'm just sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of the bullshit. Not to mention the potential, like many other Silicon Valley companies, that YouTube might be working with the government behind the scenes in order to control the American people on some real social engineering bullshit. If you consider the Twitter files as being evidence of the government working with Silicon Valley companies in order to control essentially the American people or just people in general, that should be red flags for everybody. It should be big news for everyone. Everyone should have a problem with that, especially Americans. But for me personally, the straw that broke the camel's back was YouTube declaring that they were going to monetize content that is not in the YouTube Partner Program. Now, I don't know if YouTube ever enforced this policy, and in all honesty, I'm not going to stick around to find out. YouTube can go fuck itself with that bullshit. The whole purpose, the whole reason why I didn't monetize my fucking channel is because of YouTube's shitty policies. And listen, I get it. The nuance is not lost on me. I get that YouTube is a private company, and I get that they need to make money. But completely throwing content creators under the bus in order to do it just doesn't seem reasonable to me. It doesn't seem, how do the kids say it nowadays, pragmatic to me. It feels insulting. It feels like bullshit. And it's no secret that YouTube is not profitable because the platform has to handle potentially terabytes of information on a daily basis. Like, I get it. And in a normal situation, I wouldn't even have a problem with it if their policies just weren't dog shit. Not to mention the fact that YouTube is not acting like a normal business anyway, and is involved in all this new age crap with social awareness and socio-political nonsense, which I'm not even remotely fucking interested in, especially in my video streaming platform. YouTube, as a platform, like many other Silicon Valley corporations or any big corporation that takes fucking ESG money, is more concerned with socio-political awareness than actually being a very good business and actually handling things from a meritocratic standpoint. Like, I'm just sick and tired of all the socio-political crap coming from these giant fucking corporations, and I can't be the only one. Now, it's no secret that I don't consider YouTube or YouTubing or whatever the fuck people are calling it nowadays to be a real job. I know, very controversial opinion, which is why I do this whole thing as a hobby, because I legitimately enjoy it. I legitimately love to talk about things that I'm interested in, but it's really fucking hard to do that when you have to constantly walk on eggshells because you don't know what's going to trigger the Skynet level algorithm that's going to get your channel fucking taken down or get comments deleted or whatever bullshit the algorithm's going to do. I mean, it's so fucking bad. I'm seeing YouTubers legitimately censor words on the screen. Like, for instance, if you are a true crime channel, you have to censor yourself to talk about certain subjects like suicide, murder, rape, which is the whole purpose of your fucking channel, to talk about these crime things. Like, imagine being a true crime channel and you can't even fucking talk about crime because you're scared of getting fucking demonetized. And now YouTube is putting up like trigger warnings on suicide and all this horse shit that's just unfucking necessary. Like, what's the fucking point of YouTube Kids if you're just gonna curtail all of YouTube to just be family friendly or be safe? I kind of understand that the wild west of the internet, for the most part, is kind of fading away, or is not deemed to be quote-unquote popular, whatever the fuck that means nowadays. But it's like everything that is mainstream just turns to fucking shit. And YouTube, like many other mainstream platforms in many other mainstream industries, including the gaming industry or the comic book industry or the entertainment industry as a whole, it's just becoming absolute shit. And YouTube kind of reminds me of Night City in Cyberpunk 2077. You know, everybody knows it's a shithole, but there's something that keeps people here. Whether it be views, whether it be the monetization, the money, you know, the monetization model. It's that thing that keeps people here, you know, the possibility of becoming famous and becoming a millionaire. But like I said, it's no secret. Everybody knows YouTube's a shithole. No one's really willing to do anything about it. And to a certain extent, once again, I can't really blame anyone, but man, it's just a really shit situation to be in. Which is why I'm dropping YouTube's bitch ass and wiping my hands clean from the fucking platform. Now, don't get me wrong. I'll still be making videos. I'll still be having those discussions. They just won't be on YouTube. At this point, I'm just tired of hearing so many content creators, both big and small, talking about how bad YouTube is, how bad YouTube has gotten, how shit YouTube is, and talking about how they're leaving just to return a week later. stressing themselves out, which is kind of fucking ironic. One of the biggest things I heard about, being a YouTuber, and what's great about being a YouTuber, what's great about being an independent, other than, having to pay a fuck ton of taxes if you're American, I can't speak the same for other countries, is that, you're independent, you can make your own schedule, but in reality, you left one shitty employer just to go to another one. That's the controversial reality. I know that's a controversial opinion, but that's the reality. If you are a YouTuber, you're not a fucking independent. You're just working for YouTube/Google/Alphabet. They're your new employer. They're your new overlord, if you will. Because at least with my employer, I can confront them and I can negotiate with them and I can talk to them. Most YouTubers, most content creators, most influencers can't even negotiate or talk to their big tech overlords. If you're big enough, they might entertain you, but there's no guarantee. Which is why I mentioned, Markiplier and Moist Critical, who got fucking cocksmacked by fucking YouTube. And YouTube making, unpopular decisions to take away the dislike button, even though it was unanimously agreed upon to be a bad idea. But YouTube did it anyway, because YouTube knows that people aren't going to do shit about it. Yeah, they're going to monetize your fucking content. Yeah, they're going to take away the dislike button. Yeah, they're going to censor your comments. And what the fuck are you going to do about it? I'll tell you what you're going to do about it. Fucking nothing. You're going to have your little tantrum. You're going to get pissed off. And then you're going to stay on YouTube and continue to follow the status quo. And that's going to be about it. A week is going to pass. Everyone's going to forget about the controversy. And nothing would have changed. At the end of the day, change starts with you. And it was a real tough decision, especially when you consider the VidMe situation. But at this point, it's a risk I'm willing to take. YouTube's a piece of shit. It's been a piece of shit for a very, very long time. Oh, and before I forget, for anyone saying that YouTube is a private company and it can do whatever it wants, well, I'm a private citizen and I can do whatever the fuck I want. I'm tired of the chicken shit excuses like that, which is why fuck YouTube and fuck those fucking clowns that run it.